So, my English teacher had us, well, I always came to this class early. I came in early, and she said, for me to you, I want to apologize for what we're going to discuss today, and I want to let you know that I'm Italian, and I know that you're what you are, and I said what my nationalities are. I'm Italian, Ethiopian, and Egyptian. She's like, but from me to you, I need you to hear that I don't believe this, and I want you to be you when you have your reaction, because I want you to be the one to react to what we've read.
I want the part about the...
I am telling it.
Okay.
So now here's the reading. We finally get to the point in class where what she's telling me and gave me the whole precursor on what it's about. So I'm nervous, but I'm ready because she told me to be me. So she has this racist white girl that sat next to me read it. It said, and I will never forget this, it said, when the African Americans were created, pause, when we were created, we were the original people. You dilute something. You don't give it a genetic effect. For example, Michael Jackson's kids. If he's black by DNA, how could his children be that color? Just add that in. So she said, when the African Americans were created, they had never seen a chariot so glorious, and this chariot could be flown. They were primal and instinctive in knowing that they wanted to touch this glory. They grabbed onto the chariot and were trying to ruin the chariot to have pieces of it, because it didn't make sense to them to have it be something that was whole. This isn't a fucking textbook. Okay? We're trying to destroy this chariot. So we're being depicted as villainous and primal, uncivilized beings. But we're white. The next sentence is this. We got onto it, and how the man was able to let us off was because he burned us with the sun. He flew so high, he burned the African Americans that were holding on to this chariot and being flown in the sky with him. He burned us to a crisp. And when we came back down, landed or fell, we were mated with. And that, therefore, that created the new genetic defect of the African American. Fuck out of here that you could ever teach children that we're defects.
No, so what they saying is this. We were gods, right? Up there. Or no, like we were so strong and primal, like actual gorilla strength. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why black people are mostly mainly good in sports type of mentality.
Let me stop you. To put positivity to this bullshit is a sacrilege to our pure race. I will never give any of that any credit. That is straight bullshit. The bottom line is this. We are the beginning and we are the end. And what we choose to do with everything about those two phrases in the in-between is up to us. We need structure, we need support for each other, and we need to understand that we don't need to show or accept that being thought of as less than is our reality, because how we're acting is like we actually believe that shit.
But
even you yourself, when you see a gang of black people, do you or do you not have the instinctual feeling, even though you are one, to be away from them? What the fuck these niggas doing? That's what you say. That's what you think. Why? White people,
because
how you doing,
what?
buddy? How
they
you
believe
doing,
that
Frank?
other stuff, and we gonna have to ask, what is these niggas doing? You know.
The bottom line is this.
But
That's
listen,
what you're
let me jump back
kids.
real quick. You making perfect sense, and I appreciate that. Let me jump back with this though. They are trying to explain off us, so we were up there with them, right? But the thing is, they had a chariot that was like that. So they went up there, they burnt us, and then they were allowed to mate. So wait a minute. So we must have already been up there with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they were talking about us. And then when they dropped us back down,
No, we were already down. We
got
on
we were
this
down,
chariot.
jumped on this chariot.
He had to fly it up to the sun to burn us
so
off.
when they said they were allowed to make...
There was no us, though. Get this. If we had to be created and we were burned, our original form is white, is what they're teaching us.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. If I want to make this... Look what we got. Look what we got. We got our snack. We have bright red salsa and white sour cream. If I want to turn this pink, how do I do that? I add white to it. We were first. Don't you ever mistake the truth for a lie. That is bullshit. It's just plain old bullshit. And keeping people locked into your perception of them is disgusting. And we believe that. We really believe that we're so low that not only do we fear them, we fear our own people. Animals even know to go to animals. And I think that's why the old heads feel the way that they feel about mixing races. Because they know that these people inherently believe that they are better than us. That they would rewrite history. To make them the villain. I mean, them the... victim. No, not the victim.
Or the overruler.
Exactly. That they're... You guys were created by us. Again, telling like they told the slaves. You'd be nothing without us. You know how I'm going to make sure you're nothing without us? Because I'm going to a place where these people have to be absorbed in our culture. So everything they'll know is what we teach them. And if they don't want to learn, we'll beat them. We learned what language? What were we speaking in our homelands? A totally different language other than what we learned. We had totally different religion, total different spirituality. We come here and now we're fucking Christian.
And then there's wars and all this other type of stuff.
Exactly.
Wars, we didn't have that. We had, and the grass is green over there. They ain't running through that. Ain't no wars and all that extra stuff. Like, they had their little generals and all this and that, but you respected each other. They go over there. They know how to go from one community to another one and talk. And they know, Africans know several different dialects. So you see what I'm saying? How can you know 16 different languages, you know what I'm saying, and be able to keep up with that from different dialects? Man, they're all smart. When an African comes over and they're a student, they be 14, but they be in like college in their third year if they really go hard. But all Africans, they come over, they're different. But at the same time, they're going to stick together. They're going to go to their own churches. They're going to go to their own whatever. Even though they were given this religion and Christianity, they're going to run with it. But they're going to stick together. It's a totally different type of breed of people compared to regular old niggas around the corner. They would never be out there. If they hang out, they're hanging out in a group and then they're going to go and they're going to come right back in. They probably ain't going to speak to nobody else. They'll be right together, huddle up, boom, 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 and then they're out. But it's all love and everything. But you guys decide to watch them. They don't have to try to lower their voice for you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. It's just everybody else is doing things differently now over here since the people that came from slavery and we slowly but surely keep on trying to, you know, move up closer and closer to being recognized as a same citizen, as a white person 100%. You know, we still is obvious. You know,
whole structure is victim shaming at its best.
But picture if you fast forward and we do get 200 more years in the future, right? It's going to be more even then because they're still giving us little pieces. All right, I'll give them a black president. All right, you know, such. It's more strides because we're resilient and we're going to keep on going no matter what. What they were calling savagery and all that type of mess like that, they just couldn't defeat no niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. So they just try to explain us off. And that's crazy. They take away our identity and give us one of theirs. And you see the whitest of the black people. Black people talk whiter than anybody. And we can mimic something else. And then turn around and be a nigga.
I mean, look at...
we can play dual parts. They can't play dual parts. We can play like we're a nice, clear tone white. You can see a nigga be like, hell, all right, I'm Chester, such. And all of a sudden the white people go away and be like, what's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And we already know. All right, we know what it is. You know? But they can't do that like that. It's just, we're so far more advanced in certain ways. And look, this ever be popping up on video. They would come against me for saying this about my own race. We're so far more advanced. Oh, that's reverse racism
But the bottom
for speaking
line,
cleanly about
the
my
bottom
race.
line is what you identify with naturally. If you're playing a role, you're playing a role. But
Yeah.
like
Some of these
someone,
niggas believe it.
that would hear me speak, they would assume that I was a white person.
And then when they find out you're a black person, you ain't shaking that white tone, then they feel like what? What happens when they think...
They want to know what I am because they couldn't just accept that I'm a black woman. I identify with being a black woman.
What I'm saying is this. You know, say 100% full black girl, and she's talking like a white person, right? Mm-hmm. If she can't switch code and come back and talk like a nigga for real, how do we feel about her, though, as a black person?
Well, we don't like ourselves in general because none of us really know what we're supposed to be.
So we instantly
and
like,
we're
oh,
fighting
you
this
acting
stereotype that we're being asked to perpetuate. It's like, if you even look at like Issa Rae, like this show Insecure, it shows that black people do not sit there and talk thug 24/7. That's why I hate when you make me watch those movies. Because it's so horrible.
Yeah, but there's certain movies you got to come up with and have as your basis.
I understand I need to have the experience.
Juice, that's serious. I'm sorry.
I understand, but I have to be honest. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. I like stuff like...
But here's the thing.
It could really happen.
If you in the hip-hop world and you seeing these people and you're not knowing about a whole bunch of people that then crossed over mainstream like Idris Elba, you see him in his movies now, but do you know where this nigga came from?
Out. Like when I heard his voice, my heart...
He's Stringer Bell. He didn't have that accent. He was a real nigga from Maryland. Sued on The Wire. But all this stuff, Wood Harris, he was in The Wire. You know what I'm saying? All these people just coming up, really, they probably had little tiny splash parts here and there, but I had to just tell you, this is part of the thing, but it's not the whole thing. It's some hood stuff. It's the thing that how much detail they put into everything to turn it into a good story, where you watch Matlock back in the day, you watch anything else right now, I don't know, one of these cop shows, but this thing is showing you on all different levels. You're going to have to identify with somebody. If you're going to go from the little shorties out here on the block to their little boss, to the real boss nigga, until somebody that might be higher than them, and then it shows the cop side. Their friends, their bosses, their lives, and then they show the Fed side. Mm-hmm. So, and they're after them niggas, and, it's so deep how everything happens. And just they throw in different things, so you can't never guess what's happening on these HBO shows and Star shows, because they know they got 5 seasons or whatever. They know they're trying to get to 10 seasons. That's lucky. So you don't know who gonna die. They keep it spicy. You know what I'm saying? They keep you on your toes. Power. Look at that. Ain't no telling who going. What? She got popped? Like, come on, man. Power and all that stuff. That hood type of show. I can't relate to nothing else because this is what I know, and I could play as clear tone as I want, and I don't want to be around no hood mess. You know what I'm saying? Like this clubbing and all that type of stuff and all that extra mess. Like that mess is wild and crazy, but I choose to be away from it. I choose to be like, even when I'm there, I'm away from it with earplugs and just looking at it differently. Everybody else see it as a good time. I'm seeing it as like anybody messing up, I'm on them. It's a different, I don't know, but that hood stuff I'm good at that hood stuff. I'm good at recognizing that TVs and, so I can relate more. Yeah, but now I'm done with anything like that. I enjoy watching that type of stuff. Because I can sit back and laugh now. I know niggas just like that. I can relate. All this other stuff, I'm learning to relate to. That's why I love in hip-hop. All that mess like that. It's got all them high ratings because everybody likes seeing other niggas clown for some reason. That's probably another part that's got something wrong with all this genetic mix. And then if that's if they saying the answer is this, picture what we would have been if we would have never decided. Like, if those Moors that were traveling around everything just to help these people from stop sleeping with animals and all that type of stuff, and we had to teach these people medicine and all that, if that's what they saying, and that's 100%, which that's what I'm, when they told me that, and they showed it, and they proved it, it made so much sense, that I said, man, if we can watch that movie, you seen Hidden Colors? It's all the answers right there and woke me up. But it's what you're saying. And it's crazy. Remember, he was like, it's in their DNA. You know what I'm saying? Vern said, because it's in their DNA.
It is.
And he ain't said nothing but the truth about everything because he's lived it and been there. And he got stuff in him. Now he crazy. He be ready to fight. But you know what? He's at the same time, he's that compassionate and all that type of stuff. His kids, like anything, like it's a different. Black people love their people way stronger than I've seen any other race.
Yeah.
Even the people that ain't seen their kids in a while, crackhead aunt, come to the funeral crying and showing out.
Well, I feel like...
Boy, I was going to say, wait. What if it would have never mixed? And like back in the day, the Moors like, are you kidding me? You did what? They treated them like not slaves, but we just would never do like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't mix with that. You know? Now picture if they did it like that. And we just had generations, 2,018 years of right here, of just highly developed black people that were doing medicines and high-paced everything back then. It'd have been Wakanda. That's what they trying to show them right in your face.
Yeah.
Y'all over here doing everything like, you know, you think we got vibranium. We don't have to, what do you mean, how do you get shot? You weren't wearing your vibranium drawers, you know, or anything, everything. Everybody's papered up, everybody's everything. They chill out in them fields because they was chilling out in the fields doing their thing. Simple, easy, smooth lives. You got tons of land. He got so much land he could raise rhinos that need hundreds of miles of room. So... but that's what's up. And that's what it looked like. You just drive into a hologram of Wakanda right there. You see it? For a change. Look. You missed it. Alright, but look. Long story short, I did not know that was part of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
And I just know that that is some crazy mess, and they have to teach this and implant it in kids that implant it in their friends. You tell a kid something and send them in a classroom, everybody will know it by the time you come out 30 minutes later, and they gonna have their stories wrong. But